In these last few days, I bought an iPhone 13, a phone that was released in September 2021 but is still officially sold by Apple at a reasonable price compared to the new models. It's a phone that has been very successful and is still appreciated by many. That's why I wanted to test it and share my user experience with you, analyzing all its features, functionalities, strengths, and weaknesses. I hope that this way, with this video, I can help you understand if the iPhone 13 is still a valid purchase today and if it's still worth investing in. Until now, I have been using an iPhone 12 Pro purchased at its debut, which has accompanied me without any issues until now. I made a video about it. If you're interested, you can check it out. In the comments, I was asked which of these two phones is more convenient, so remember to subscribe to the channel to not miss the comparison and to see other future comparisons with the new iPhone models, such as the 14 and 15 that I will bring to the channel. Speaking of aesthetics and construction materials, the iPhone 13 does not present major differences with the new models. The body is made of aluminum and has a solid and robust appearance. Despite being a year old, if treated with respect, as you can see, it ages very well. The edges do not lose color, do not absorb fingerprints, and the buttons are responsive and functional. In this variant, I have the Galaxy color in my hand, a not too bright white, I would say similar to the pearl color, and I must say that I like it very much. It doesn't get boring and doesn't weigh down the phone. On the contrary, it gives it elegance with the Apple logo in the center as a mirror. The cameras are well proportioned and do not protrude excessively from the body, ensuring good stability when the phone is placed on a flat surface. Moreover, it weighs 174 grams, making it a good object to handle in your hands without tiring you out and easy to use. Speaking of the display, the iPhone 13 has a 6.1-inch OLED HDR display, the classic dimensions used by Apple for its compact devices. A display that I found very pleasant for its bright colors and brightness. 800 nits with maximum peaks of 1200 nits in HDR, which allow you to see well in bright environments. The display has a frequency of 60 Hz, but it still manages to provide a good user experience. In fact, with it we don't have any particular sacrifices and we can enjoy any entertainment, such as movies, social media, video games, or anything else you want. In the iPhone 13, we don't have the dynamic island that is present on the iPhone 15, but the notch for the camera and Face ID is slightly smaller than previous models, thus expanding the display space. It reminds me a lot of the display of the MacBook Air M2. Speaking of the processor, the iPhone 13 uses the A15 Bionic, a chip that Apple defines as very powerful, so much so that it is also used on the iPhone 14. It's a processor with a 6-core CPU, a 4-core GPU, and 4 GB of RAM. I think this processor is really efficient and its features and the power it can unleash are truly impressive. In fact, everything we want to do and every application we want to use runs surprisingly well. In its daily and overall use, I have not encountered any kind of slowdown, lag, or jamming. The fluidity and smoothness of the animations are natural without any signs of fatigue. Moreover, like every year, the iPhone 13 has received the new iOS 17 update, which it manages to keep up with effortlessly in every new function such as multitasking, multimedia, the ecosystem, and every functionality used by Apple. This makes me think that it will be able to do so with future updates as well, guaranteeing a long lifespan and an excellent user experience. And even in the gaming field, it is strongly surprising, demonstrating that the processor gives its best. In fact, I tried some games available in the App Store, both light and demanding, and they run very well, offering a high and engaging entertainment experience. Even though in the most demanding games I encountered some sporadic and slight slowdowns which did not compromise the gameplay. Perhaps a little more RAM, like in the Pro variant, could help, or maybe it's the game itself that played a small trick on me, but all in all, I remain really surprised at how it manages games for the good graphics and colors that the display can provide. Even multitasking, switching from one game to another, is very responsive and fast without getting lost in blocks or long loading times. Speaking of the cameras, the iPhone 13 has two powerful sensors, one for the wide angle and one for the ultra-wide angle, both with 12 megapixels. In my opinion, these are two very valid cameras that allow you to take photos in a simple and fast way without losing details. In fact, compared to previous models like the iPhone 12, they are able to capture more light, making the photos brighter, defined, and brilliant. Keep in mind that since there is no zoom camera like in the Pro, we will use the main camera with digital zoom up to 5x, which, to be honest, and is understandable, does not have good definition at maximum magnification. But the peculiarity of this iPhone is that Apple has implemented photographic styles, a sort of preset filters that allow you to accentuate and make your photos even more beautiful and characteristic. Furthermore, always on the iPhone 13, we have the cinema mode, which allows us to create videos with a blurred effect, highlighting the subjects we are interested in, simulating the cameras of cinema effect films. A very nice function, but one that requires good lighting and a certain ability to manage the focus. In addition to the main functions, I don't want to forget to mention that the iPhone 13 also has other special features that make it a complete and cutting-edge phone. For example, it has Wi-Fi 6, which allows us to have a fast and stable connection both at home and in the office. In addition, its data connection is 5G, which guarantees us good phone reception and smooth and fast navigation. The audio department is also at good levels, making us feel good music, videos, or video calls thanks to the stereo speakers and integrated microphone. Finally, the charging port is the old Lightning and not the USB-C, which is only present on the iPhone 15. Speaking of battery life, the iPhone 13 works very well, and certainly the powerful processor manages to optimize consumption. In fact, despite the battery capacity of my phone being at 93%, it still manages to bring me to the end of the day without any particular difficulties with moderate use. This is a very important feature because going from an iPhone 12 Pro where reaching the end of the day meant using it little, switching to the 13 I saw a clear improvement in autonomy, giving me more breathing room in use. Obviously, these data can vary depending on how it's used, but they are still indicative of good performance and make us consider its effectiveness. Furthermore, the iPhone 13 also supports fast charging, which allows you to charge 50% of the battery in 30 minutes, and wireless charging, which is compatible with MagSafe accessories. That being said, what are the conclusions? Is the iPhone 13 still worth considering today? In my opinion, yes. As we have seen, its features such as its processor, cameras, battery life, and user experience with the new Apple updates allow an average user to still use it without major compromises compared to the new models on the market. The iPhone 13 is a phone that offers good quality, good power, and good versatility at a reasonable price compared to its successors. Of course, if you are looking for the latest innovations, the best performance, and the most advanced features, you could opt for the new models, but at a higher price. In this regard, I will bring the successors such as iPhone 14 and 15 to the channel, so subscribe to not miss the comparisons. And what do you think of this iPhone 13? If you liked this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for the next tech updates. See you next time.